Welcome to the Nerd Party.
It's not working.
Well, how long since you've cleaned the heads?
The what?
The heads. Do you have any alcohol?
To drink?
What? No, to clean it. Check the tracking.
The rental place closes in 2 hours.
Shut up, it's working.
Time for a retro perspective.
Hello and welcome to Retro Perspective, the show on the Nerd Party where we take a look at all of the movies released 25 years ago this week. I'm Mike.
I'm John.
And today we're going to take a look at the movies released on June 3rd, 1994. There was actually one movie released on June 1st, and then there were 5 movies released on June 3rd. So I guess if we start with the movie released on June 1st, it's A Gift from Heaven.
Yeah.
I don't really know anything about this.
Nope.
Yeah. Didn't track. There was no reviews. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Then on June 3rd, there's Grief, which was really hard to find anything on because Grief is not very descriptive in terms of titles, and it's very small and everything like that. It looks like Ileana Douglas was in it. Got 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. Nothing in terms of box office. So,
yeah, skipped it. Even though I do like Ileana Douglas, I think she's a fine actress.
Yeah, she's cool. Number 15 at the box office for June 3rd with $24,000 and an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. Clearly the most beloved movie of the week, Fear of a Black Hat.
Yeah.
Did you watch this?
I did.
Me too.
Excellent. I am glad to hear that. I have wanted to watch this for 25 years. This is another one of those ones where it was, it's just been on the queue for so long that it's in the forgotten section. And so I was thrilled to go around and have a chance to see it finally.
I had never heard of it up until now, but the trailer intrigued me and the reviews intrigued me. So I was like, yeah, let's watch this. So this was directed, written, and starring Rusty Cundiff.
I thought it was Cundiff, but Cundiff I could go with too.
I don't know.
I'm not authoritative on that at all.
Yeah. He directed a bunch of episodes of Chappelle's Show and Tales from the Hood and Tales from the Hood 2, which I think was just came out like a year ago. He's done a number of other things too, but those are the main ones. So, yeah, do you want to give a description of this?
Yeah, I do. Imagine Spinal Tap, but done about a fictional rap group in the early 90s.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
And a lot of pretty big name actors. I mean, not big names, but like people who you would recognize.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. This movie is chock full of people where you say, oh, that guy. Oh, her. Oh, I've seen that person before. Yeah, a lot of those people.
Yeah, and like when I first saw the trailer, I was like, oh, this is like teeny tiny, isn't it? But I guess it's not that teeny tiny. But the premise is that the filmmaker is a woman named Nina Blackburn, played by Casey Lemons, who was in Silence of the Lambs. She was
the training friend, partner, roommate person. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's following around these 3 guys who are in a group, and their trials and tribulations. And
of NWH, comprised of ice cold, tasty taste, and tone deaf.
Yeah, there's a lot of that stuff. There's there's a scene where they're making a movie, which I forget what the name of the movie was called, but it's a play on New Jack City. And
yeah.
What was the name of the guy? Like Jike Spingleton or something like that.
Right. It was making fun of Spike Lee and John Singleton.
Yeah. And you know who else shows up in this movie? Penny Johnson-Gerald, Cassidy Yates from Deep Space Nine.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I remember seeing her and like sitting up. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, I like this movie a lot.
So did I. I got legitimate laughs out of this.
Yeah, it's really funny and really kind of like it's a satire of, sort of like everything that was going on in the early 90s and everything like that. And it's pretty smart satire, pretty witty, and, some interesting social commentary and everything like that. It's solid.
I found the most interesting thing about it was NWH. Like, I don't associate anybody, like NWA is a group where they gave off that aura of you would never make fun of them. Mm-hmm. So just the fact that he did, I thought was just like, it was a gutsy move. I was like, all right, you, that's great. Mm-hmm. And like so many of the things, just exposing so much of like how much of that can be an act. Everybody loves to roll out, for instance, like Tupac as an example, where it's like, come on, he went to a private school studying ballet. He didn't really know about the hood too much before his persona was created, sort of thing.
Yeah. They even say they're like, what neighborhood are you from? And they're like, oh, a really, really bad one. And they're like, well, where? And they're like, we don't like to say, but it's really bad.
Yeah. It's so bad. We don't want anybody going there. Yeah. And the thing is that the fact that they work in, minor spoiler, I guess, but the fact that they work in, just like in Spinal Tap, just like in any movie like this, where, the group breaks up, they want to go their own way. And so they have troubles and everything. And they took the time to make fun of sort of the offshoot R&B genres all the way down to CNC Music Factory. I was like he really went all out to make fun of everybody on the planet at that time.
There was even the white rapper, Vanilla Sherbert.
Yeah. That was fantastic. I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, they did some good stuff there. I liked it a lot. It was a nice surprise. I was debating between this and one of the other movies for this week, and I was going to go with one of the other movies because I was like familiar with the filmmakers, but the reviews weren't so good. And I'm glad that I went with this one for sure.
Yeah. Me too. I consider this crossing the T, dotting the I on something, from long ago that I wanted to see. Yeah. Absolutely.
And this movie is available on Amazon Prime, at least in America. So, if you got Amazon Prime, check it out.
It's well worth the time.
Yeah, and it's short. It's under an hour and a half, which is also cool.
Yeah. And although I would say that you definitely will enjoy it even more if you have even a passing knowledge of the rap scene from that era. Mm-hmm. You'll still enjoy it if you don't, but if you have a little bit of knowledge about, actually, you know what? I'd say if you've seen Straight Outta Compton, this movie's surprisingly relevant again.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So number 10 at the box office, making $1 million with a 47% on Rotten Tomatoes, is The Endless Summer 2. Now, I'm not familiar with The Endless Summer 1, but watching the trailer for this one, it seems like basically back in the 60s, some guy made like a surfing movie.
Yeah.
And then like 20, 30 years later, he made another one.
Yep.
Did you watch this?
Nope.
Have you
because
seen?
This is like having a movie called The Never-Ending Story 2, right? Which does exist.
Yeah.
It's false advertising. You said it was endless last time. And, and I don't know. I just don't dig on surfing culture.
It's kind of weird. I did just see this movie called Surfer Teen Confronts Fear.
That sounds like a bad title of a bad movie. What is it about?
Boy, that's a good question. There's a teen who surfs, or he's trying to surf. He's not very good. And his dad died, I believe, in combat. And he's, at the beach, and all of a sudden his dad shows up, and he's like, "What? Dad?" And his dad starts talking to him about life and everything, and how surfing is life and everything like that. And then it's kind of weird that his dad is there. Well, how is that possible? And it turns out that, it's like his dad's spirit, but his dad is actually dead. But, what he did was he, like at one point he starts like puking up like octopus, like oil stuff. And it turns out that he was made out of like seaweed. And, this movie is really, really bad. So much so that it's, a lot of people think that it could be the next Room.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, now I want to see it.
Yeah. I mean, you can watch the trailer. And I mean, like the first half is amazing just because like this guy goes on these like monologues for like minutes and minutes and minutes where he's talking about all this like really, really spiritual stuff that doesn't make any sense at all, and then like you get like halfway through and it's kind of a gear shift movie. Like the first half is just like him talking to his son. Second half, like it turns out that he's actually not really dead, but he's like in a VA hospital, and like he's like can't communicate with the outside world. And then there's like something with like MPs going around, and it goes to some weird places, and basically ends with this kid coming to the realization that like, okay, yeah, because his dad told him like he has to go surf. And then the last like 20 minutes of the movie are just a montage of this kid surfing. And it's really boring.
Wow. Okay, but you know what? So long as we're on the topic, I can't think of a single surfer movie that I've seen or even heard about that everybody loved who wasn't like already a part of the culture. Like there's been no like...
That there is one.
What?
Point Break.
Okay, see? All right, I asked for that. Fine. I walked right into that one. I completely walked right into that one. But no, I'm talking about like something that's about surfer culture, right? Like there's always this feeling, everybody knows it's like skater culture, right? It's something not everybody is a part of. Why is it so hard for somebody to make a movie that could make me sit in an audience or anybody sit in an audience and not say, oh, I want to go surf, but to nod our heads and say, I get it. Okay. I get why you like that so much.
I mean, I'm not a fan of it or anything, but I mean, I really do think that Point Break does that, or tries to do that. That's the closest that you'll get, this bond between two guys over surfing, and it is kind of getting into like the spiritual side of things and everything like that. Like, I think that's what Point Break was. I do.
Okay. I mean, I could see the argument for that. I think Point Break is one of those movies that's charmingly bad. Like it's memorable because the talent in it is good enough to keep you watching, even though, like if it didn't have Patrick Swayze in it, for instance, or Gary Busey being Gary Busey, you would tune out of that movie in 2 seconds.
I mean, Keanu Reeves, though, right?
No, Keanu Reeves is fine. Yeah, I got no problem with Keanu Reeves. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just it's one of those things where the casting and the time capsule nature of Point Break has really powered it, I think, more than actual quality. And that's not to take anything away from Catherine Bigelow, who I think is a tremendous director. And I still steer people toward seeing the movie Near Dark, which was her vampire movie from the 80s.
Yeah.
You should see that.
I did see it. I finally saw it. I wasn't impressed. But
I thought it was a good movie.
Strange Days, on the other hand.
Oh, Strange Days is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Terrific film.
And Zero Dark 30. Those two.
Yes.
Yeah.
How could you go wrong with either one? But yeah. I don't know. I would love to see somebody make a surfer movie where like I could finally get it, where I could finally latch on to what made the culture, without like an action movie trapping or anything like that, but something where I could really, maybe the Endless Summer one is the one that does it. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it seems like it's a documentary kind of thing. I don't know. Yeah, I can't. I'm with you in that I don't quite understand it, but I guess it just is what it is. You know what? Another culture that I don't understand.
What's that?
Cowboys.
I don't understand. Look, I understand the fascination with the myth of the cowboy. You know, like the rugged, individualist who, strong, silent type. It's like Billy Zane talking to Dana Delaney when they get off the carriage in Tombstone, and she's taken immediately with Wyatt Earp standing in the sun. And he says, "Oh, look at him! The rough cut and the standing there strong in the sun." It's like I can kind of get that, but that's sort of the extent of it, I guess. Like,
okay, all right. Well, I understand westerns, like to an extent, not to a 1994 extent, but to an extent. But I do not understand the Cowboy Way, which is why I didn't watch the number 5 movie at the box office this week, The Cowboy Way, starring Kiefer Sutherland and Woody Harrelson, with a 15% on Rotten Tomatoes. Mm-hmm. Did you watch The Cowboy Way?
I didn't. It was one that I had a passing interest in back then, but I'm pretty sure, here's his weekly mention. My friend Joey saw it and came out of it just like, this movie's terrible. And I remember that in one of those film flubs books at the time, because pre-internet, you had to buy a book to find out about all the film flubs that somebody found. Yeah. They pointed to Cowboy Way in specific because they're driving through Times Square, and apparently during the conversation, you see the same Roy Rogers pass like Woody Harrelson 3 times or something like that.
Yeah.
Common continuity error sort of stuff. I rewatched the trailer, and there didn't seem to be anything that really, caught on for me.
I had never heard of it either, but, I watched the trailer, and I mean, even though, it's got Ernie Hudson in it, which, was second week in a row or close to it that we've had an Ernie Hudson movie because he was in The Crow. But even with that, not enough to get me to watch this movie. So,
I mean, it looked to be like a fish out of water movie, and that has a certain appeal, but I don't know. I mean, I think that maybe in 94 I would have been less tired of it, but I'm just sort of tired of that. Like, if New York City could just get some down home, wrestling, gunplay, lassoing, the city would make more sense. It's like, no, New York City's already got plenty of that going on. So let's try to cut down on more of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm surprised at how well this movie did. I mean, $7.3 million. That's not like that's an outrageous amount, but it's more than I would have expected. So,
yeah.
Anyway, the top movie for the week, coming in at number 4 with $8.2 million, was Renaissance Man. This movie had a 12% on Rotten Tomatoes, and this was the other movie which I was really considering watching because it was directed by Penny Marshall.
Yep.
I like her work quite a bit, and Danny DeVito was in it. And yeah, did you watch this one?
I came within a hair's breadth. I didn't have time.
Yeah.
I was very close to watching it. I just couldn't squeeze it into the schedule. I might actually double back and see it just for all of the reasons that you mentioned. Although, I don't know. It's, the classroom thing of like, if I could just make these kids learn, all of their problems would be solved.
Yeah, and that seemed to be like a running thing back in the 90s. Like in this time period, there are a lot of movies like that. And the reviews on this being so bad too, it's, I'm not going to go out of my way. I mean, it feels like that Joe Pesci movie that just came out a few weeks ago. It's the same thing.
Oh, you mean a few weeks ago in 90 with honors? Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think that, now that the time has passed, I think that's just one that I missed. So sorry, everybody. Oh, well.
Nah, it's okay.
All right. So let's look ahead to next week, June 10th, 1994. Only 3 movies this week, but boy, you know what? It's quite a week, I think.
I've seen 2 of them already.
I've only
So-
seen one, but I'm definitely going to watch two of them. Without a doubt.
What's the one that you missed, Mike?
We will find out next week. But the three movies which are coming out next week are Three Colors White,
Mm-hmm.
City Slickers 2, The Legend of Curly's Gold,
Mm-hmm.
and Speed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The movie, everybody points to The Matrix, but that is the movie that was the career restart. That was the reset button for Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
That was a major surprise success. And I think it's just the first in a long line of movies. Don't ever count Keanu Reeves out.
Yeah. Even here, you would think. My coworker gave me this book, which was the 20th Century Fox book given out at Show West 1996. Okay, so the what's now CinemaCon. So, and they have, tons of stuff with all of the projects that they're working on. Very first thing, Star Wars Trilogy Special Edition, Independence Day, like everything that was coming out for like the next couple of years. And some of it's like pretty crazy cool stuff. And some of it is like, oh, well, like that, okay. But here, Speed 2.
Yes.
Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock return for the follow-up to the box office and critical smash hit from the summer of '94. Spoilers. And then it goes on from there. There was one time it was enough of a done deal to say that Keanu Reeves was coming back for Speed 2.
Yep.
Never happened. Yeah.
No, spoilers, it did not.
Yeah.
I've never seen Speed 2.
Oh, I saw that opening day. Well, we'll talk about that next week.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
But in the meantime, John, where can people find you on the internet?
Oh, look for Kessel Junkie. KesselJunkie.com. You can find Kessel Junkie on Goodreads, on Letterboxd, and you can find me here on the network co-hosting a Star Wars podcast called Aggressive Negotiations. And as an added tease, very recently, we recorded a full-length commentary for The Phantom Menace. So, in honor of its 20th anniversary. So go on over and give that a listen. But that's where you can find me. Mike, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Letterboxd at Mumbles3K, and you can also find me on my website, filmdamagepod.com, doing a show called Film Damage. All right. Guess that's pretty much it for this week. Next week's going to be a big one. I'm excited. Are you excited?
Oh, I'm so very excited because I have a feeling I know one of the two you didn't see. I can't wait to talk about that one again.
All right. Well, until then, be kind, rewind.